Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hoping you have a fantastic day. Taking a quick look here, of course, at Polkadot. Kind of seeing what's going on with this guy, and it's pulling back really close to what we were expecting to see. This most recent high working as potential support level there, about between $5 and upwards of 5.10, 5.15. Okay, so we'll talk about that. We're all still honoring our ascending trend here, so it's not like it's a terrible situation. And all in all, not too bad. We're holding above the 50-day SMA. I do not want you to get the wrong impression here. This is not a dire straits by any stretch. But if you are new to the channel, just know I love to teach people to trade. I've been trading for a long time and teaching for a very long time as well. I've got a trading academy community and signals group, link down below for my premium group if you're curious. Also, make sure you check this out though. This is probably more of an important aspect because KYC and VPN requirements are getting extremely common in the industry. This exchange does not require that. Bitunix, phenomenal exchange, healthy rewards when you deposit with them. And of course, I think there's some loot boxes you can start off with too, some registration rewards. So check that out. Be sure to use my link, of course, so you can qualify for that. And we'd have future trading competitions too as well for our community. So awesome stuff. Just trying to bring more options to my community members because a lot of our US and Canadian members kind of got screwed over with all that other stuff before. So anyways, so take a look here at Polkadot. What's the deal here? Well, let's look at some backend data first. Why don't we just jump into that initially? This is basically the liquidation levels last 7 days. Okay, so when we take a look at the liquidation levels, we can see a ton of liquidation right there at about $5.20. That concerns me. That either means that we have some late longs with high leverage right there at that amount, which is extremely likely. Unfortunately, a lot of crypto heads like to do that. And then of course, we got a decent amount of leverage here at about $6 as well for the shorts from before. So this leads me to believe there's either a heavy concentration there or just a lot of unresponsible traders, if you will. Again, I'm not discrediting anyone who trades with 50 to 100x leverage. Just saying it's unfortunate when folks see that that's like the common theme in trading when it shouldn't be. That's completely irresponsible to use that much leverage. Again, just based on the market and the shifts and stuff, you'll get lucky sometimes, but for the most part, there's a lot of liquidation wicks that occurred. Speaking of liquidation, just to quickly clarify, 4-hour time frame, we have a ton of liquidation down here between 450 and roughly 490. Okay, so again, we do lose that support at the current level at 520. Price may continue lower. Okay, now Elliott Wave is anticipating if this is the lowest point, we could very well see a bounce up to these Fibonacci retracement levels right there at about 0.618, upwards of about 0.5. Okay. So just keep in mind, those are some areas there that we want to pay attention to. It's not necessarily a reality, just implies that if the price does come back up, those could be resistance levels for us to be mindful of. Taking a quick look at the daily, once again, this ascending trend is still looking very good. We do not need to worry too much about this long-term trend. It's working very well, running concurrent with the 20-day SMA. Money flow index is coming down, so is the RSI. That's not a bad thing. It just implies that we want to be mindful and kind of just be aware that there's a shift in potential momentum here, but it's actually healthy for coins to be in the 50 to 70 range for both those things. Okay. But the thing is, when we look at the 4-hour time frame, if the money flow index is extremely low, which it is right now, then that's a cause for concern. Not necessarily meaning that we should just dump and sell like crazy right now because it's low, but mainly because the simple fact that there's less money coming into this coin. We can see we're maintaining very low, below this moving average here, right? And as the price continues to stay below, the price will continue to come down. So a good indication of a long position would be this average volume being above this moving average. In other words, we want to be patient and probably wait for a good entry and not just FOMO into a low price point, because you saw what happened there. We got a lot of FOMO at that 520 mark with the liquidation. What do you think is going to happen when the price wicks down to 515? They're all going to be sitting on the corner of the freeway there, wishing that they'd not sold, or sorry, not used such high leverage, right? Again, different strategies. I'm not hating. I just think that there's better, more responsible ways to trade. That said, we're under 50 on the RSI. This is typically a bearish sign too. Not the greatest. Don't love that. We are maintaining above the 50-day SMA. Keep in mind that's a positive sign here. That's holding strong with the concurrent trend line. So again, we're not in dire straits by any stretch. I just think that there is potential for further downside. Being below the 20-day SMA, that's going to work as somewhat of a resistance initially. It's not a super strong, but it's something to be mindful of. But me seeing all this money flowing out of the coin, being under 50 on the RSI, those are signs that we've broken somewhat bearish on the 4-hour time frame. Now, taking a quick look at the hourly, just to note here, this is where we want to kind of pay attention to my favorite indicator, the Ichimoku cloud, kind of letting us know that we are firmly below the cloud. Okay, So you basically do not want to take a long position at this point. You only take longs above the cloud essentially, and conversion line is below the baseline. So there's no momentum here, or actually correction. There is momentum. It's correct. It's momentum to the downside still, and that if you have a short position open, you may want to consider leaving it open for the next 12 hours. If the price action starts intersecting with this lagging span, then that kind of closes the door. In other words, we're in a situation right now where if the price doesn't drop soon, then this indicator is telling us to consider taking your profits if you haven't already. Again, that would be probably some pretty decent profit if you shorted somewhere up here, right? 7-8%, 5x leverage, that's good. 35%, 70% depending on. Again, do not use more than 10% or 10x leverage if possible, especially if you're a newer trader. That's why we only trade with 5 to 10x leverage in our community. We use 10x for Bitcoin and Ethereum and 5x for any altcoins. Because again, a lot of shenanigans can occur, as you've seen here recently, and it's hard to get. It sucks getting bit with those wonderful manipulation wicks, like XRP, for example. 15% up in 15 minutes, 15% down the next 15 minutes. Total garbage. That's not the kind of trading you want to have with high leverage. Okay, you can sustain that kind of trading with low leverage. That's what I'm trying to get at. All right. Anyways, it does look like this price wants to break down. Money flow index is low. I think overall we're going to see at the very least a retest of 520. So if you are a person that has a liquidation level at 520, you may want to consider taking some, I wouldn't say taking profits because you're probably pretty close to being in the red right now, but you may want to consider closing your position because it's not looking great here, especially with Bitcoin kind of riding on the edge here of disaster. I do think Bitcoin is gravitating more towards that 35.6. Just some friendly advice. All right. Anyways, I hope it works out well for you either way. If you did find benefit here, please like the video and comment below. Are you long, shorts, not trading DOT right now? What are you thinking? More importantly, what's your spout bag look like? I get some folks here telling me that they've got like, thousands of DOT right now. And it's really, really cool to hear that, especially if you're up on your portfolio. I'm not telling you to sell, but again, at this point, it does look like the price wants to come down. Really just depends on your overall position size, right? All right, folks, thanks again for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Again, check out our partnership with Bitunix. Link down below. I look forward to working with you, though. Have a good one. Take care.